That Peloton work pay off for you today?
Yes. Just like I said, I started cycling this off season just to kind of take some pressure off the joints and bones, and so it helped me today for sure.
And what did you do today?
Rode 14 miles.
Anyway, I'm sorry, what made you decide to take part in this event this year?
Honestly, like I said, I purchased a Peloton this off season, so I started cycling more, and I wanted to do more than just be at the finish line and congratulate people. I wanted to be a part, and so I was able to do both. Ride and then talk to people at the end and congratulate them and give them medals.
Have you been affected directly or indirectly by cancer?
I'm sure at some point, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But I like to try and support a good majority of causes. Just to use the platform that I have to help try and bring and shed light on the issues, and try and help the research and help generate funds.
What does it say about the franchise, the amount of resources and that are devoted to this, and how successful it has been?
Yeah, no, it's pretty special what we do here as an organization with all of our events, honestly, and this is another big one for us, and so it's great to see the amount of people that come out and the support that we have.
How did Mr. Ross do?
I think Mr. Ross was behind me, but he said he did well. I talked to him after. It's great for him to be here as well. I rode next to Tom, Garfinkel, and so it's like I said, it's special for us to be able to do this and then have the participation that we have.
Kenny, with the off-season program starting last week, how has Coach Flores adapted to you guys, and how have you guys kind of got to know him the last couple of weeks?
It's a building process, and that's what he's told us, and so we're just taking it one day at a time. We're all kind of getting to know each other and building that relationship, and so we understand that it's a process, and we take it one day at a time.
What are some of your first impressions of him?
It's hard to say, but I've seen the interviews and stuff that he's had with you guys, and I love the way that he handles himself as a leader, and so I look forward to playing for him.
There's been a lot of change since we last talked to you. New coach, you're going to have a new quarterback. Your thoughts on how the offseason has been?
I haven't really put too much thought into it. All I know is that I can, handle myself, take care of my business, make sure that I'm ready to go when the season comes, and figure out the best way that I can impact the team and help us win.
Does Coach Flores come off as somebody who is from New England? Can you tell that's where he came from?
I wouldn't say that. I can just, you can tell that he's very serious about this team and our success, and so I'm excited about that.
Were you surprised that Coach Cancer let go?
It wasn't something that I was putting too much thought in. We're trying to figure out ways to win games, and so that's really above my head.
Kenny, when new coaches come in, you always hear about the energy in the building. You've been through a few coaching changes. How much do you get caught up in energy in the building versus I'm going to focus on me and what I need to do?
It's important. When you talk about energy in the building. But like I said, for us, it's just about building. We got rid of a lot of guys. We got some new guys are going to be coming in, and so for us, it's just building those relationships, building that chemistry, so that when we get on the field, we can go out and perform and win games.
Did you ever wonder if you would be back? You saw some of the guys who were let go for age or salary.
Yeah, every offseason you kind of have those questions. You can get moved at any point, and so definitely came across my mind, people asking me about it, but like I said, all I know is I can handle myself, making sure that I'm healthy, making sure that I'm ready to play, and trying to perform at I haven't played my best football yet.
Now you're a competitor and you're somebody who takes winning very seriously. There's been a lot of talk lately about how the Dolphins are tanking or trying to lose for a better draft pick next year. When you're as a player, when you hear that kind of talk going around, what goes through your mind?
Obviously it's frustrating to hear, but unless it comes from us, it doesn't really mean anything. I feel like it's easy for people to talk about anything, and so I know Coach Flores enough to know that that's not what we're doing. I've seen the interviews that he's had with you guys, and the way that he's responded to that, and so I don't believe anyone in our organization likes using that word or that term or even talking about that, because we're not preparing to lose games.
Do you feel the concept is disrespectful to the game?
100%. It's I understand why people do it and talk about it, and it's a good conversation for the off season and all that, but we don't prepare all off season. You don't prepare in a profession to lose games, and we're not going to do that.
When you see our interviews with Coach Flores and you see him being so adamant about that being disrespectful to the game, what does it mean to you as a player?
It just shows us exactly what he's about as a man and as a coach, and so we know what to expect from him, and he's going to continue to set the standard for us, and like I said, I look forward to it.
Do you feel like there might be some pain before it gets good again? Do you think it might take a little bit of while to get this together?
Honestly, like if we just focus on learning the playbook, building the chemistry within our team and the guys on the team. The sky's the limit for any team. It's there's teams that are coming back every year and they've got that chemistry already, so they're a little bit ahead of us, and we know that. And so we're going to spend a lot of time this year outside of the building together, trying to build that chemistry, so that we don't have that lull in a year or 2 years. We expect to win, and we expect to win now.
Is that something that Coach Flores suggested, or something you decide on your own to do?
No, as a professional, you try to take a peek back at the past season and think about, okay, what could we have done better here? And one of the things that I think is really important for teams, especially when you have a new staff and we got a bunch of changes, is to spend that time together outside of the building, really get to know one another, and then I think then it shows up on the field as well.
What kind of changes do you anticipate from you talked about knowing the playbook? Like, what kind of changes do you anticipate from Gase's playbook to Flores' playbook?
It's all football. It's just different terminology, and so we've got to get on the same page with this staff as far as what their terminology is, so we're speaking the same language, and then just go out there and execute. That's it.
Couple more.
Kenny, you know what it takes to win in this league as far as talent. When you look at you guys too deep right now, what do you think of it?
Yeah, we still have a lot of roster spots open, and so I have faith in Coach and Chris, to make sure we get the guys that we need to win.
Are there any guys in the recently in the AAF that's do you think would be a good fit for here?
Honestly, I'm sure that there's a couple guys that we could use from the AAF. I wasn't able to watch as much as I'd like to, but I had some friends that were playing in the league, and so I hope to see them up in the NFL.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks, man. Appreciate it.